All right. All right, people, gather round. We're going to have a good time. Oh. Hang on a second here. Can I call you real quick on my Patreon? Question mark. We'll get started in a second. I'm pissed off, so it's gonna be good. Super pissed. Oh, shit. What the hell is wrong with me? Okay. All right, the show started. I just skipped the intro.
Hey, Eric, what's happening?
Carl, how are you, buddy?
I'm great.
Okay, Carl from Who Are These Podcasts? We're going to be recording tomorrow the show, of course. Who Are These Podcasts? We are reviewing the Let Me Tell You podcast with Jamar Jones. Thank you, by the way, for inviting me for that, Carl.
It's going to be a fun one tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. I just wanted to bring you in here to talk about that. And I also wanted to bounce off of you, the hilariousness of you suggesting when I said, hey, can I put you on my Patreon? You said, I'm pretty nervous talking to all those people. That is very funny.
I just assume there's hundreds of thousands. That's
my God. You know, there's it's funny because there's just enough. and there was a time when I first started Patreon when it took off like gangbusters. You know how like that is when you get that first kiss?
Yep.
And then I started looking at it, and then I said, oh, my God, I'm going to be a rich man for the rest of my life. And then
it doesn't work that way. It doesn't just keep going up exponentially, does it?
And then it drops off exponentially. It does, but it's stabilized. It's stabilized to this backbone of audience who are like the diehards, the ones who really, really, really care,
Of course.
And
those are the people you want to be talking to.
Yeah. So this is like, I describe it as my favorite part of the day when I am able to when I'm able to speak with them. But occasionally I make the Patreon free. And one of those days is today. And the reason why is I just got into a Facebook fight with people because do you ever intentionally try to kick a hornet's nest? Well, I mean, I guess you do that on the podcast all the time.
Yeah,
but about like
for a living.
Yeah, I know it. But I mean, like let me ask you this. The thing I wanted to bring up was the death of DMX. He just died today.
Yeah.
And so I went on Facebook and Twitter and said the guy's a piece of shit. So now everybody.
Ooh, not good timing on your part.
Yeah, I think it is.
Wait a week or two.
I think it's great timing. I think it's perfect timing because the reason why I said that is because everybody is falling over themselves about how great he was and God bless him and we love DMX. This guy was a piece of shit forever. He was.
Well, I do know he's got 15 kids with 9 women, and he wasn't really paying a lot of child support.
No,
he wasn't really supporting
a
lot of the kids.
That's true. There's that, and then there's the robbery. There's the weapons. There's the he is everything that every young black man is trying to get away from on stereotype. He's the reason. He's the guy that they're trying to distance themselves from. Yet
you could have just said successful hip hop artist, and all of that would have been implied.
Yes, absolutely. So now, and then there's the animal cruelty. Do you know that when he early in his career he got busted for like fucking dog fighting or some shit?
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
I hate that shit.
Okay, well,
I'm
listen.
pissed off that Michael Vick still has a job.
Holy shit, you're not kidding. So well, at least Vic did hard time. What they did with DMX was they said, all right, we're going to let you off. You got to do PSAs about animal cruelty. So he did that. And then you know what happened again? The fucker did it again. And then they did not throw the book at him. And then he did it. He did more PSAs. He did this 3 times. That was a process 3 times. And then finally I guess he grew out of it. I don't know. But if you were to look at his body of work, he was more consistent at being a lawbreaker than he was at actually being a solid hip hop artist, because he started when he was a kid being an asshole.
No, Eric, you're probably right about all of these things. I'm just saying, can you wait a week or two to bring this up? Does it have to be right now today?
No,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand. But you see, if you do it if you strike when the iron is hot, in my opinion, it's like ripping off the Band-Aid and just calling shit for what it is. I don't. His work, his body of work is terrific. I mean, he's one of the best that ever was. He was cutting edge in his style and his effort, and so many people loved his music. But his shittiness was unbelievable. So
are you one of these guys who brought up the Kobe rape case when the helicopter crashed?
I did not do that. But
just curious,
and I wonder why I didn't, because it would stand to reason. I was actually very, very critical of Ari Shaffir when he did what he did. But for this,
well, that's what he does.
Yeah, for this, I think what drew me to it was all of the tributes that are like, oh my God, and it's like, come on, I just wouldn't have said anything, but whatever. But so I threw it out there and I wrote, "Get the fuck out of here, rest in peace, my ass." And now everybody wants to kick my ass. And so I figured I would just bring it up with you at the same time, talk about the podcast.
Well, speaking of people who want to kick your ass, I've been texting with Chad Zumach this week.
Okay, good. I've been getting the audience up to speed on all of this leading up to Who Are These Podcasts. So that's good.
He's got a message for you. I will wait to reveal it when we're on the show together tomorrow so I get genuine reactions. But
okay, that's good.
He sent me some notes he wanted me to relay directly to you.
He sent you notes. Okay. All right. Well, I'm anxious to find out what that is all about. I've been pestering him quite a bit.
That's what I hear. That's what he tells me. Yeah.
And he can't. The problem with Chad is his own words are going to be his undoing. I don't need to really do much. All I need to do.
Probably right about that.
All I need to do is he has done all of the heavy lifting, Carl. And just for context, I did not know who he was prior to your show, nor did I know Chrissy Mayer. I'm pretty naive when it comes to that scene. But he did rub me the wrong way, but not so much that I'd want to pick a fight with him. So, but then when I heard Chrissy Mayer and you about a week later on her show, I thought, I just basically looked at the clues and said, this is a classic case of a guy who's just insanely jealous of a lady who has done a better job at furthering her career. That's all it had to be. And so that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I don't like that shit. I don't like that at all. And I don't like the way on your podcast, Carl, he ripped on Mitch Fatel. He ripped on Bert. He ripped on Chrissy Mayer. Of course, Opie, that's understandable. I can see that. But Mitch Fatel is one of the nicest guys in comedy.
Yeah, and it didn't really make any sense. I was going, well, I don't know if he's still a popular comedian. That's not the point. And he wanted to rag on, like, where is he in his career? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He did have a very good career in comedy. I don't want to, that's not really the point of what I'm trying to say here.
Carl, I idolize you. I worship you, Carl. Anybody who has listened to my show knows that I really enjoy the show, and I think what you've built is awesome. So the only knock I have on you is, why the fuck do you talk to Chad Zumach?
Dude, he's friend of the show. He's been on the show twice now.
It really bums me out. It really, it's not enough to make me think to write something bad about you on Twitter like DMX, but holy shit, Carl.
Wait till I die, could you? You'd be like, that piece of shit was friends with Chad Zumach. I hope he fucking burns in hell for eternity.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it. I don't mean to bother you. I know you're a very, very busy man. Now, can I ask this? Is the Creep Off a second podcast? That's a separate deal, right?
Yes, completely separate. Yep.
Okay. So, of course, Who Are These Podcasts? WhoAreThese.com is where you can find all of the things associated with Carl and his show. I highly recommend you listen to it. We're going to record Saturday at 2 p.m. if you are on Discord, but they can listen to it live, right? If they're on the Discord?
Yep. And don't have to sign up for anything. Just come on our Discord. There's a link on our website, and you can pop right in the live chat room, 2 p.m. Eastern.
All right. Okay. I have a lot of things on my plate today in order to finish up my curating of material that I will then send off to you later on tonight, okay?
That's excellent. I'm looking forward to that. Also, I wanted to ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the geographics of Michigan all that well, but I am planning to come to the greater Detroit area to do a live show this summer. And I was curious how far of a ride that is for where you guys are and your audience.
Oh, not far at all. I've already I'm starting to already round the wagons on that deal. I've got more than one person who would like to go to that because I kind of knew about that.
Great.
So yeah, that's the goal. We would go to that and enjoy that show.
Cool. I got to reach out to some venues. I'm really nervous about whether or not I'll be allowed to do a show in Michigan in the summer.
Drew can take care of all of those things for you. He has contacts with all those people, and I'm sure he would do most of the heavy lifting.
Well, no, and I appreciate that. He said that he'd help support it, but I'm just concerned I'll be able to let people inside a venue to watch the show.
I remember you had. Yeah, that is a great concern. There's no question. And
I mean, have there been enough scandals with your governor yet that she can kind of relax? Because there have here in New York State.
You know what? Our governor, you're not going to believe this. You would think that I was one of these anti-Whitmer people. But I think she's done an awesome job, and everybody hates me over this. They all think I'm an asshole.
I will motherfuck you tomorrow. Thank you for telling me that.
Oh yeah, she's done a great job. She's an excellent governor.
Okay.
All she's done, the only thing she's done wrong was killed all those old people.
Yeah. She had the same thing going on with the nursing homes. Kind of a bad policy there, and fuck people who started their on business and build a business from scratch.
Oh, that's horseshit. I will fight. Hey, I will fight you on that. You fucking idiot. There's no way.
All right, buddy.
Okay. All right.
Save it for tomorrow.
It's okay. And nobody agrees with me. This whole audience, they hate my guts. They all hate me, Carl. They love.
You have smart listeners.
Yep. They just love to beat the shit out of me. They're not smart. They're all jackasses. And that's it. Okay. I'll be with you tomorrow. I'll and be looking for stuff. I'll be sending your way.
All right, man. Talk to you tomorrow.
Have a good one. Thank you. That's Carl from Who Are These Podcasts. That is going to be fun. Fucking Zumach. Son of a bitch. I like how he has to send Carl messages. What the fuck? All right, guys. I think I covered the DMX thing already. But, this is how it goes in my world. I sit there and kind of like I'm inspired by the things that I see online. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy, DMX, they're like, hey, man, Zane, what are you doing dancing on his grave? It's like, well, I said these same things when he was alive because I knew he was going to die. I didn't know shit about DMX until this week when it was revealed that he's about to die. So I looked him up and then I read about him. And all I do is I look at the body of the man's work. I don't give a shit about all the records someone sells. If they're an asshole, they're an asshole. It's that simple. Well, who gives a fuck? And now my point is the fact that all you guys are sitting there falling all over yourselves. They're going, God damn it, that's so sad. Come on.
Facebook fight. You are wrong and I am right. You are a stupid prick. You can suck my big fat dick. This is another Facebook fight.
So I went for it, and I said I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop this out there and see where it takes me. And it has been pretty much what I expected. I know exactly what I'm doing when I post the stuff. I definitely want to hear from you. I definitely want to see the comments. I wrote rest in peace, my ass, animal cruelty, weapons, drugs, robbery, failure to pay child support, 15 kids from 9 women. Get the fuck out of here. Hashtag DMX. That's your guy. Okay, great. Okay, let's start with Nicholas. Okay, Zane. So when your mom dies, we should have roasted her on here for all her faults. Everybody remember that when Meathead passes away, Zane wants us to only lay out the bad things he did. Divorce, alcoholic, encouraging his sons to drink, etc., etc. Well, frankly, if I was eulogizing my dad, Nicholas, I would probably maybe get a good laugh out of the stories about the times that we had. But I don't think my mom and her body of work and my dad and his body of work equate to, felonies. I don't know. It's not quite the same. So there you go. Josh says you're doing good on this one, Zane. 52 comments in 37 minutes. I appreciate that, Josh. Let's see. Mike says, well, if a person can only be remembered by their mistakes, then what are you going to be remembered for? Okay, great. Damn. What did the Prince ever do to you, Eric? Oh, DMX. Right. My bad. Joey says, this is not a hot take. This is a hellfire and brimstone take. Gonna piss off a lot of people with this one. Well, fuck, I didn't do it. I wasn't the one who did all these things. All I said was, this is what he did. I mean, are we to ignore that? When Adolf Hitler died, did they go, oh my God, what a leader? This man, holy shit, could he lead? Fuck no. When O.J. Simpson croaks, do you think they're going to go, former Heisman Trophy winner and former all-time leading rusher in the NFL. He once went 2,000 yards toting the rock for the Bills back in the day. O.J. Simpson has died. You assholes. Jeez. Aaron Jansma writes, the good Catholic boy showing his true colors. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Why are you blaming me? What did I do? Yeah. Sarah says we're not to judge. That'll all be taken care of. And I'm right. I agree. I'm more like listing his accomplishments. Mike says, you mean like the only artist ever for their first 5 albums to debut at number 1? You forgot that one. That is undeniable. That is true. But who cares? Abby writes, problem with America right there. Big frickin' deal. He can rap, he can sing, whatever. So can my trash collector. He did all of those horrible things. There you go. Abby gets it. That's perfect. I'm not sure what Regis meant by this. So the only difference between DMX and Floyd, George Floyd is a knee. Gotcha. And I actually wrote, I'm confused with this. Please clarify. He wrote, did you say the same disparaging things about George Floyd after his death? His past is just as shady as DMX. Hold up, man. I can't write this while I'm doing the podcast. Look, I don't know if we can compare those two things at all here. I'm talking about an artist who the world is glorifying and forgetting the fact of all the things he did. Floyd was murdered in the street. What does that have to do with this? That is completely not a solid comparison at all. It's a horrible comparison. When Derek Chauvin dies, are they going to go, Derek Chauvin, former great police officer? Boy, he did a hell of a job, that Derek Chauvin back in the day. He was a great cop. Fuck no, they're not. They're going to look at that guy for the piece of shit that he is. Jesus. You people get so pissed off about the stupidest things. Go fuck yourselves. Holy shit, what a bunch of pussies and really misguided assholes. Really misguided assholes. Not sure about this one. Lynn Levitt says, I have a hard time getting behind someone who goes from egging on girls to take off their tops at his show to preaching the word of God to the audience in the next breath. And I wrote, did he do that too? I actually wasn't sure if she was referring to me or him. She didn't say. Oh my God. Brock, right? LOL, shut up, Zane. As cool as you were on FBHW and as funny as you still are, Earl Simmons didn't do shit to you. Let his fans grieve. You crotchety shit stir. Go back to paging vulgar names over the intercom at the airport. And I wrote, of course he didn't do anything to me. I just like pointing out the absurdity of simpletons like you who love and honor shitty people. Alex James Pulsifer writes, Eric Zane, holy shit, the hypocrisy here. I forgot, in your book, George Floyd was a stand-up citizen, you clown. Who's talking about George Floyd here? What the fuck are you guys doing? You know, this is what drives me nuts about people when it comes to these types of Facebook fights. You fucking idiots get all sidetracked on shit and you start pulling shit out of thin air. Let's focus on what we're talking about here. We're talking about DMX, who from a teenager to the day he died was a complete asshole. There's no mistaking it. His list of accomplishments are long. He has a rich history with being a piece of shit. Animal cruelty, failure to pay child support. This was not a good soul. He's a bad man. But he could perform. Fuck yes. And you love that. So what do? You sit there and you kiss this dumb son of a bitch's ass when he dies. Fuck that. All right. And now here you are, because you're getting your ass kicked like you do in everything by a stupid old guy who's telling you this guy sucks shit as a human being, and you can't handle it because your beloved rapper is getting done. His grave is getting danced on by a stupid old cracker like me. Fuck that shit. Dave wrote, Alex James Pulsifer, Zane is a big hypocrite, but he is not wrong on this take. Thank you, Dave. Debbie wrote, Alex James Pulsifer, DMX, whoever the hell that is, caused his own death. George Floyd was murdered by a cop. Big difference. Thank you, Debbie. You get it. This dummy, who I had to dismantle him, Andrew, wrote, why would you wait for him to pass away to post your thoughts on him? Way to dance on his grave, jackass. And I wrote, because nobody was kissing his ass when he was alive, dummy. This was not a good person. He doesn't deserve the accolades. Are you going to mourn when OJ dies? Get the fuck out of here. He says, I think you are confusing ass kissing with mourning. Who mourns someone like this? Why would you do that? Oh, I don't understand why someone like this can mean so much to you people. And I guess generally there's probably not a ton of people that are listening to this that actually give a shit about DMX. But frankly, I figured I would take a little time to rip him a new one because fuck him. He's dead. Who cares? Terry says, where are these comments he's reading from? They are all on Facebook. If you follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page, you too can get in the fight. Sam says, we're talking about George Floyd because you literally just said we're glorifying a guy and forgetting about all the bad things he did, about a guy murdered in the street. Hold on a second. He got murdered in the street? Hey, dipshit, maybe watch Steven Crowder get his neck kneeled on and how so this Sam M, I'm guessing. See, now you guys somehow are taking the death of DMX and throwing in the George Floyd thing. Sam, you obviously don't think that George Floyd was murdered in the street. I think he was murdered in the street. Now it remains to be seen, but I think from what I saw and from what I've been reading, what I've been following, I'm of the opinion that guy was murdered in the street. If you think differently, that's probably a different conversation, but we're trying to focus on DMX here. So, but he wrote this, hey, dipshit, maybe watch Steven Crowder get his neck kneeled on and how it has no effect on one's ability to breathe. Okay. We're talking about George Floyd because you literally just said we're glorifying a guy and forgetting about all the bad things he did and not about a guy murdered in the street. George Floyd was a multiple-time violent felon who ate a fistful of drugs to avoid arrest. Dude, I don't know, man. Apparently you're triggered by the whole George Floyd thing and you think he's innocent. So I don't know. That ain't really what we're going at here. We're trying to focus on DMX here. But, I can only fight one war at a time. All right? Okay, I'm not like fighting the Japanese on one side and the Germans on the other here. Okay, here's what I think. DMX, piece of shit. George Floyd murdered in the street. Seems that's how I feel. Andrea says, who gives a shit about how anyone dies? The shitty person is the shitty person, plain and simple. Yeah, just like DMX. Stevie says George Floyd is not the one on trial. Don't blame the victim. What are you doing? Oh. All right, so that's that. A good old-fashioned Facebook fight. I'd like doing those from time to time on Friday if the stars align. And I think that was a pretty damn good one. You guys are all right in my book. Thank you for being part of it. Okay. On to other things. I heard from my boy Mike Pellerito, who sent along something fun that I'm stealing from the free podcast that we had. The story I retold the story about Jacqueline when I tried to get her under control when she was a teenage girl, and she has Hulk strength, and she rampaged out of it and then was trying to keep Ernie from leaving back in the day. Back then, Pellerito produced this very, very funny bit of real audio, as he put it, because I actually called 911 in that instance, in case you don't know, and got the cops to come to my house to calm down Jacqueline because she was so out of control. So Pellerito thought, I wonder what that sounded like. And he produced this.
Can I arrest you? Yes, 38. Hi, what's the address that we need to come to?
I'm having trouble controlling my daughter.
Your address, sir?
For the love of God, stop now.
Okay, and what's going on there?
I can't. Her boyfriend wants to leave. She won't let him. She's running around in the street, freaking out, and all the other neighbors are upset. Send help.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah, she has Hulk strength.
Okay, sir, I'm trying to help you.
We got a raging teenager hormone thing. Settle down, darling. There's no reason to get so fussy. Holy shit, I forgot how funny that was. Well done, Mike. Thank you. Way to lighten the mood for me. Okay, tonight I'm on with Ben Glaze for the Patreon bonus. Send me an email if you're on Patreon and you want to be part of the Zoom audience. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. If you'd like to check that out. Ben's probably bumming because I think he loved DMX. Fuck that guy. All right, folks, have a good one. We'll talk to you down the road. Till next time. Bye-bye.